Hey folks, this is Thomas from Metabase, and today I want to demo you a cool new feature that I'm a big fan of, which was released with the 51 version. So sometimes when we create data assets like charts or dashboards, we are always in this fight between not making it too cluttered so that it's easy to parse, but still being able to provide some more context to the data. So here I have some example data from our sample database, which visualizes the total revenue per country. And if I look at those charts, that sometimes I just want to have some more information on a certain data point. So if I'm hovering over US, for example, I might want to understand how many orders have been made there, what's the average order value, what is the minimum of the payments that we have, maximum, and so on. And that's something you can do with tooltips. So you could have done some stuff like that in the past already, but the cool feature that we added is that you can now customize what you display in your tooltips. So if you go to the visualization settings, display, then I can actually choose what I want to have displayed in my tooltip here. And you see as I add or remove stuff, this is then being added or removed from the tooltip. So this is all about what's available in your data. So the query result you have here, you can use any column in there in your tooltip information, which is pretty cool. A place where this is super nice and useful is when we work with funnel data. So here I brought you one example, also from some like data from the internet, where I want to visualize a funnel through a website up to the checkout. And I also want to be able to add some additional information as context. And the problem is, like, if I visualize it like that, that doesn't make any sense. So I only want to be able to have those steps over time. And if I do it like this, you would see now I'm actually seeing for each of the funnel steps. So search would be the first step, then someone would go into the payment and then the payment confirmation. And now I see a funnel over time, which is quite nice. Now, if I'm hovering over things, sometimes if I'm looking at this funnel on a week by week basis, it could be that maybe the last week is not really over yet. And I might want to have this context on how many users have been in that funnel at a certain date. And this is where you can use this tooltip once more. So if I go to display settings, now I can add some additional context, like how many visitors have been there, how many desktop users, mobile users, and add those to the chart. And now you see if I'm hovering over the categories, it will always highlight the current category. Also, you see the nicely week over week change automatically calculated there. And I get some additional context, like how many visitors have been there, how many of them have been desktop users, and so on. So this sometimes happens to tell a story around the data points that we see. And this can be a really useful tool if you can play with what information you want to display and what information you don't want to have in the tooltip. So yeah, feel free to play with it. I'm curious what your thoughts are, so feel free to also send some feedback on that.